2007 Toyota Camry with a 2.4 liter engine. The security indicator came on and the vehicle will crank, but it won't start since then. And they bought new keys from the dealer, and locksmith came to reprogram the keys, and it didn't work. Someone else came too, and it didn't work either. The dealer wanted $2,800 to fix it, so they decided to bring the vehicle back, and that's how I'm here. So I'm gonna see what's going on here. It's a disaster here. They took everything out to have access to this thing here. This is the immobilizer here. Don't think it goes right there. It goes between the firewall and these boxes, white boxes right there for the AC, the heat. So everything, all of this here in the front that you see, the frame and everything, the big tool right there came out. They put everything back already because I suggested them to relocate it. Someone else did that, I didn't do it. So I'm here for the test and everything. You see the box right there? That's what I came out. Everything came out. It's a disaster where they put this thing here. But so I'm gonna be doing some tests and see to confirm what the dealer said. And the receipt that the customer got, they said this immobilizer is not good. So I'm gonna see what's going on here. Alright, first of all, let me show you the audio of the pins of all the connectors I'm gonna be using in this case. This is number 1 here. This is the connector for the immobilizer, or you can call it transponder key ECU. That's what Toyota calls it. So this is number 1 here, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and 6 is on the other side, which is empty, next to the yellow one right there that you see. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. By the way, I'm gonna be checking these two wires in a moment. 13, 14 here, and 15 and 16, the white one here. This is the order of the pins on this connector of the immobilizer or transponder key ECU. Alright, this is the connector of the PCM here, and let me show you the order of the pins here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, so by the way, I'm going to be checking these two wires here, number 10 and number 11. And if you turn the connector the other way, you're going to start here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 is the one in the corner. These two I'm going to be checking, as I said. In other words, like this. See the order of the pins here? 1, 11, 12, 19, and so on. Alright, and here is the next connector here, which is the one for the transponder key coil or antenna, whatever you call it. This is the connector that goes here and around the ignition lock cylinder. And this is number 1 here, the orange, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the order of the pins here on this connector. A small connector here on the PCM. This one here, as you can see. See, this is number 1 here, this red one, the red one all the way in the corner, as you can see. And you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 till you get to number 11, which is the yellow one all the way in the corner right there. So we're gonna check number 10 and number 11. If you go like this, obviously are going to be the two in the corner right there, all the way on top to the right. Alright, inside the vehicle here, transponder key ECU, which I have it here, as you can see. So let's see the order of the pins here. The white wire right there, all the way on the left. All the way on the left, that's number 1. Then you count 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the violet after the red one. And then you come back here to count 6 on the other side. The one that you see that is emptier right there, on the other side, that's number 6. And that's how you count the order of the pins. So we're gonna be checking number 12 and number 13, which is the green one and the light blue. Alright, and here is the wire diagram just before starting working physically on the car. I'm gonna be checking these two wires here, as you can see. Pin 11 and pin 10 on the engine control module, the green one and the yellow one here. And on the transponder key ECU, as you can see, this becomes 12 and this one becomes 13. So I'm gonna be checking these two wires. Now, if everything is fine with these two wires, the results are going to be below 1 ohm. If checking the resistance I get another results that is higher than an ohm, then that's gonna be a problem. Now this is the first test because I have to do a second test, and the same two wires and these two wires here, but in a different way. So if these two wires fail one of the tests, then there is a problem with the wires. So we're gonna be checking the resistance first, and I hope we get below 1 ohm. So let's see. Alright, this is the other part of the diagram here. This is the transponder key ECU. Alright, so now we gotta check all these wires too. These 4 here for the transponder key coil, the one that goes in the ignition lock cylinder. hopefully everything is good with these wires. I don't know yet. And now, alright, this is where the wire diagram finishes, at least for now. So we're gonna go ahead and see what we can find here. I jumped the wire already. We're gonna start with the number 11, the yellow one right there, as you can see. We're gonna select here ohms. This is pin 13 here. Right there we have less than an ohm, so that is good right there. So we're gonna move to the next step. So according to Toyota, we should have less than an ohm or below an ohm. Alright, and this is pin 12 here, and the connector of the immobilizer, transponder key ECU. Alright, this is the connector of the PCM here. We have jumped the pin number 10, which is the green one right there. We got 0.6 ohms. I mean, this is only one test, so we have to do another test. These two wires, according to Toyota, everything should be fine so far. So let's move to the next step. I already jumped the wire number 12. You can jump either ones, either 12 or either 13 at this point, whatever you want. It's the same. You're gonna do the same with both of them. I'm gonna be checking the ohms right there between that wire and body ground and see if I get 10 kilo ohms or more than that. If I get 10 kilo ohms or more than that, it's fine. But if I get less, then there is a problem. So let's see. Alright, and here is the last test I'm gonna be doing on these two wires here. Remember I said at the beginning I was gonna do two tests in this case. I'm gonna be measuring the resistance between these two wires, wire 12 and 13, and body ground. Now if we get negative results, we have to fix the wires. There is a problem in the wires and we need to fix it. But if everything is okay, we should be replacing the transponder key ECU assembly. So these two here, as you can see, is the test I already did. See, below 1 ohm. So this is the one I'm doing right now. Wire 12 and body ground, 10 ohms, 10 kilo ohms or higher. The same wire 13. And body ground, checking the resistance. We're supposed to get the same result if everything is good with these two wires here. We're gonna go ahead and do it physically and see what happens. Alright, and I'm gonna start with wire number 12 here, but you can start with 11 or 12, whatever. Just make sure you use a very good ground spot on the car so the results are not gonna lie. And I'm gonna be using the same ground right there. And I have open loop right there. So when this happens, you have to recheck, you have to double check the connection again. See if you're making good connections here. Alright, I reposition the wire, the pin right there. I believe I'm making good contact. So let's try again. And still open loop. At this point, I believe there is a problem here with the wires. And that wire specifically, that's the number 12, the green one right there. We're gonna move to the next step, which is a pin. I'm gonna be checking pin 13 right there. See how that one comes out. The blue one right there. Alright, we have 7 kilo ohms right there, which is below what the manufacturer says, in this case, Toyota. If everything is good with the wire, we're supposed to have 10 kilo ohms or higher. But we're having only 7. That's not much, the specification from Toyota. This one is having some ohms, but pin 12 is having nothing. So there is a problem here with this wire. Alright, so far I'm having a problem with these two wires, number 11 and number 12 here in this case. However, I will have to repeat the test on wire number 12, and this thing here, transponder key ECU, so far it's not a suspected component in my case, even though Toyota said the opposite, that it was not good. But I'm gonna double check here on wire number 12 just in case. I know I'm making good contact here as the first time, but I'm trying again, see what happens. And nothing again, the same. So definitely I have confirmed that I have problem with these wires. I'm making good ground, as you can see, and open loop still. So in this case we have problem with pin 12, wires 12 and 13. So we're gonna see what the next step is going to be. Alright, I'm gonna leave those wires that have problems for a little bit later, and I'm gonna check the wires here and the transponder key coil here. Alright, here is the connector, as you can see. So, and we're gonna start by checking number 1, by the way. Alright, that is the connector of the transponder key ECU right there. So I'm gonna check continuity on pin 14, which is the orange. By the way, I'm only gonna be checking continuity on these wires to make sure they have continuity or if there is a problem with them. Pin number 1, which is the orange here, and this one is pin 14 on the transponder key ECU. Right there we have continuity. Alright, you see the brown wire right there, pin number 4, that's brown. So we have continuity here on this wire, everything is good with this wire here, so we're gonna move to the next step. Alright, right there, pin number 4, as you can see, is the red one right there. And this is pin number 5 here, right there. We're gonna be checking number 5 right there, which is red one. Now, one thing really quick, if you're struggling having continuity, finding continuity on one of the connectors, that sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, that means something is wrong with the connector inside. Some pin might be loose or something like that, so you should double check those things. So just to remind you that. This thing is moving. But we have continuity here, so that is good. So we're gonna move to the next step. Alright, as you already saw, I don't have problem with these wires. They all came out good, so no problem with this wire so far. However, I have problem with wire number 12 and 13, but I'll take care of that in the next video. I'll be leaving this here for now. I'll stop. And if you want to see what the solution is going to be, please I'll see you in part 2. Thanks for watching the video, and God bless you all.